Hello and welcome to tonight's SUNYAC semifinal matchup featuring the third-seeded Plattsburgh Cardinals and the second-seeded Oswego State Lakers. And welcome inside the Moreno Campus Center Ice Arena and a hockey night in Oswego. Alongside me are Luke Owens and Mike Morano. I am Brian Rudman as we get you set for a 7 o'clock puck drop tonight. But before we get to that, we got a lot to talk about on the pregame show. Starting with Oswego's last time out on the ice. It was a 2-1 loss to this very same Plattsburgh team on the road. Guys, what did you see out of that game for the Lakers, particularly the goals?
It was a tough start for the Lakers. Plattsburgh got on the board twice in the first period, and that really set the tone for the entire game, as we're going to roll the highlights shortly. But Oswego just came out a little bit flat. You know, it was Plattsburgh's senior night. Maybe that was a little bit of extra motivation, but they just came out and they outgassed Oswego.
Yeah, as we see, Plattsburgh scored, both their goals in such a short amount of time. They just went out on these outbursts, as we see the first goal here by Christian DeFelice, and Oswego just couldn't be able to capitalize again. Quick, they're capitalizing off these turnovers, and you just saw Tyson Kirby get the other last goal. It's nice to see him stepping up too, as he's also a scratch here for tonight.
Yeah, it took all the way to the third period for the Lakers to get their first goal here. Cam Berry to Tyson Kirby, who was actually scratched tonight. But it was a tough 2-1 loss. It was a gritty, hard-fought game, and the Lakers just came out a little bit flat.
And guys, you talked about Tyson Kirby getting that lone goal and Cam Berry assisting on that. Guys who haven't really been in the points column that much this year, how important is it for the Lakers to get production out of guys like that?
Yeah, it's interesting, Kirby being scratched after scoring last game, but when you insert guys back in the lineup like LeBlanc, like Gillespie, you've got to get points from those top three lines, which they really hadn't gotten last game. And missing a guy like Kirby, they're going to fill in for him, but it's interesting, an interesting coaching decision by Coach Gosick.
Yeah, like you said, with Gillespie and LeBlanc back in, that's going to be big for the Lakers, but it's one of the biggest games of the year. You need everybody stepping up, you need everyone to do their part and produce some points.
And guys, in that game, Oswego had to kill off a lot of penalties, and they were very strong. What did you see out of their penalty kill that got it done?
Yeah, like you see here on the graphic, Plattsburgh State went 0 of 5 on the power play, and what Oswego State did really well is they kept the pressure up on the forecheck. They didn't let Plattsburgh State set up. They kept the pressure on even in Plattsburgh State's own zone, and it really looked like it wasn't even a power play at some points for Oswego State with that pressure.
Yeah, especially since they were down 2-1, they had to kill off all these penalties because you didn't want to keep adding on to the lead. But 0 for 3 on the penalties on their part too, that's big. They're going to have to, capitalize on those because you don't know how many penalties you're going to get every game.
And guys, obviously it's a rivalry, one of the biggest in D3 hockey, and that leads to some chippiness and physical play. What did you guys see in last week's game on that point?
Yeah, especially towards the end of that game, it got really chippy down low. You see guys like Devin Campbell battling down low, Jacob Engvall, the big defender for Plattsburgh, and it's what you're going to see out of a rivalry game, but you've got to play smart. You can't have these penalties. You see at the end of the game here, Zizek basically getting his head just thrown by Engvall. You've got to avoid the stupid penalties, though, in a rivalry game.
Yeah, and these rivalry games are big. Both teams know what's at stake here. They want to play as aggressive as possible, not let that up, but again, you don't want it to cost you because these penalties can rack up and they can, get some goals in at the worst times for any other teams.
And guys, Plattsburgh did not get to wait until today to play. They had to play in the first round on Wednesday. It was a victory against Brockport. What did you guys see out of Plattsburgh that got the job done for them?
Well, they did a little bit of what Oswego did last Saturday. They came out flat at home, and Brockport stuck it to them early. As we see the goals here rolled, Brockport got on the board first. It was Doc Gensler here to get it past a diving Parita, which you don't see very often, to get them up 1-0 in the first, and it took them all the way to the third period to get on the board.
Yeah, Plattsburgh did a lot of the same things that we saw against Oswego, capitalizing off of Brockport turnovers and also scoring in bunches. They were kept scoreless through the first and second period, and they just scored 3 unanswered in the third. That was big for them, and they just did not look back and carried the momentum off that.
And guys, Plattsburgh killed off a lot of penalties in that game. They're one of the best penalty kills in the nation in D3 hockey. How did they get it done?
Yeah, you see they get outshot almost every single game. Even against Oswego State, they were outshot. They were outshot against Brockport, but the way they protect the front of the net with those big defenders is really what's key to their penalty kill.
Yeah, and then once you get those penalty kills and you keep killing them off, it kills a lot of momentum, especially for Brockport in that game. After you keep killing them time and time again, their confidence level is just going to be at an all-time low, and that's what you want to keep them at.
And guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break here, but coming up after the break, in his final season as a Laker, Devin Campbell made a bond with 2 fans that goes well beyond the game of hockey. You're watching Hockey Night in Oswego on WTOP 10. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to the premiere of the 12th season of Laker Connections on WTOP 10. I'm Ben Grieco alongside Cole Parzik, and the Oswego State men's basketball team had a big opening weekend at the NCAA tournament. Cole, What happened at the Maxfield Gymnasium on Friday night?
Well, Ben, the number 25 ranked Lakers ousted Salem State last Friday to kick off their NCAA tournament appearance. Both teams were close through 30 minutes, but it was the final 10 minutes of the game where Oswego State's acclaimed defense derailed Salem State. Oswego State trailed by 1 with 10:38 left in the second half before they went on to a 20-7 run to pull away. In the second half, the Lakers outscored the Vikings 44-33, despite SUNYAC championship MVP Tyler Pierre following out with 5:15 left in the game. Pierre still managed to score a team-high 19 points. He also had 11 boards. Quinn Carey chipped in with 17 points of his own, shooting 4 of 9 from 3.
And on Saturday, the Lakers would continue their tournament success against Baldwin Wallace in the round of 32. Also played at that Maxfield Gymnasium. The Lakers did have the advantage, continued advantage that is, of the Oswego State faithful just across the street from the main campus. And now, early on, Oswego State takes an early 11-9 lead with 13:50 left in the first half. Liam Sanborn drives it in for the layup. He scored 20 points during the entire contest. Brandon Gartland decided to join in on the fun. Lakers up by 1. He's at the arc. Nails the 3 from deep here. 1:46 left in the first half. And Oswego State now leads 36-32. And heading into the second half, Oswego State still leads 44-43 now. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. And Tyler Pierre did just that with a layup, drawing the and 1. 15 minutes left in the first half. And back to Garland. He knocks down another 3 from top, again from deep. He had 3 3-pointers in the game total. Lakers now leading 64-58. Baldwin Wallace would tie the game, and we head to overtime. Liam Sanborn drives to the rim again with a shot clock at 2. He drops it in for the 72-70 lead, and Oswego State would come away eventually with a 75-71 leading to a huge celebration. And the Lakers now move on to the Sweet 16. It will face Marietta College in Rock Island, Illinois. Head coach Jason Leone compared the upcoming Pioneers to Baldwin Wallace at the press conference on Monday afternoon.
They play at a little bit faster pace. They have more guys that play in games for them, and they have more guys that score. So that presents problems for us.
And so Cole Leone just said that they have more players, they have a fast-paced play, they're in the same exact conference as the opposing team, or as, Baldwin Wallace. What exactly does Oswego need to do to combat any potential situations only having 6 players?
Well, being that short man, and then also we talked about them running off-screen ball offense a lot. That's going to wear your defense down. So efficient offensive set is the first key. The second one is rebounding both the offensive and the defensive glass. But talking about the offense first, Liam Sanborn is going to be the main focus for Oswego State. He's their primary ball handler.